Welcome to the 31st episode of the Bloomers podcast. We're doing another guest episode again, and I'm joined by a former guest who's coming on for the second time. So if you'd like to
Yeah.
introduce yourself, guest.
Hi, I'm Ridwana. It's been a year, over a year actually, since I did my first guest episode, and now I think it would be really cool to do kind of a year difference. So super excited.
Yeah, so the episode was recorded last October, the 24th to be exact. So yeah, it's been over a year. We have known each other for 8 years at this point, which is crazy.
That is
Um,
insane.
yeah, like since sixth grade. So, um, we used to be we used to be neighbors, like two houses away from each other. This is like stuff we talked about in the first episode, remember? We're
Yeah, yeah. Do you still
like,
live there?
oh no, I moved. We sold the
You d
house. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so that whole era's
Sad.
gone. But
Damn. Oh, that's so sad.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't know. I never met your neighbors or anything, but okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Uh so yeah, my name's Umar. This is Ridwana. Sorry, stuttering. Um, but yeah, we're just gonna talk. Um, and yeah, she's been a big supporter of the channel, so I very much appreciate that. By the way, I forgot to say that before we talked here, but um,
Number one
yeah,
bloomer.
yeah, you got 2 out of 31 episodes about you, so that's crazy. But how's life been? Because we didn't talk too much before we started recording, but
Oh my gosh, I think the year difference has been crazy. It's been so, I don't even know like how to express it in words, honestly. Like
mhm,
I think I'm a completely different person than I was a year ago.
really.
And yeah, it's it's kind of shocking to see because I actually went back and I watched that episode and I was just like, wow, like that is very far. I mean, obviously I still kind of have the same nature and stuff like that, but I think it's very different than what I expected because I hadn't watched it in such a long time. I was just like, wow, I'd want to like shut up sometimes. But um yeah, but
No.
it was really interesting to see.
Hmm.
And it was really fun to see how much I talked about Hajer because I was literally right on the phone with her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Still my number one, still my best friend.
Good to hear.
So some things haven't changed, but a lot of
Yeah.
other things have. So that's fun. And I just rambled on.
No, no, that's what this is all about. That's good. I need that. I'm interested in that. But what do you think is like the biggest thing that changed since we recorded that video?
I think so honestly, I would say a lot of my like not morals, but ideas in life have definitely changed. I've experienced so like in a year I've actually experienced a lot of different things that taught me so many different things as well, which I'm
Hmm.
so grateful for because I feel like they were for the better. And even when in certain times I was questioning things and I was questioning like, oh, why is this happening to me? In the end, I was just like, okay, it makes sense. Like, oh, it does make sense. Fortunately.
Yeah.
Um, I think my relationship with religion has significantly changed for the better, which honestly I'm really proud of and I'm really happy
Mashallah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah for that, honestly, because it's given me something that I felt like I was missing and being able to just kind of find more peace within my religion and more faith and realizing that, everything's going to work out. And, if something's meant for me, it's going to happen, has honestly given me so much security and just peace of mind at the end of the day, which is so beautiful. Um, yeah, my friends have honestly, I've gained more amazing friends. I mean, like this year, I've been really trying to put myself out there even more, and it's been awesome. It's been amazing. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I was just with my friends earlier, and I was just thinking, like, wow, these are my friends. Like, these are people I have in my life, and they're just so generous, thoughtful, and kind. And I don't know, there's just so many great things and so many great things to be like grateful for.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
would you say you're in a better place in all around compared
Mm,
to last year?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I
Why
feel
is that?
although although so many great things have been happening, I think it's kind of scary to grow up a little bit and realize I am in fact an adult who has to make decisions for myself and figure out my life and, you know, inshallah be making like big girl money. I don't know, that's just kind of like it's kind of been hitting me and I'm like, oh, like am I gonna become successful in life? Like where am I headed? Am I just gonna end up on the street? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do that, but like like intrusive thoughts just coming in. And I've just been super stressed lately. But you know what? I know it's gonna pass. I know it's gonna pass. And I have like an amazing support system. So I would say in some ways I'm doing better than a year ago, but in others I'm also struggling more.
Hmm. No,
That makes
I can
sense.
definitely relate to like everything you said there. Um,
Hmm.
but one thing you mentioned was um you became more pious and more Islamic, right? Because you're still a Muslim, right? You're talking about Islam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
I've been Muslim my whole
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
life.
yeah,
Nothing's changed.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No, just making sure. Um,
yeah. Yeah.
but what exactly? Because I'm just curious about this because I also had my point where I first like actually started practicing instead of just like
Mhm,
being but not practicing. So I'm just interested because like that's also something I wanted to talk about with someone on my podcast, like a full episode about
mhm,
Islam. But I just want to touch
mhm.
on that a bit. Like what changed for you in the last year with Islam then?
Um, Honestly, a lot of different things. I like there was never a point in my life where I was just like, oh no, like Islam isn't the religion, isn't the one true religion. And I never sometimes I did have my doubts about certain things, but it was never like this isn't the religion for me.
Hmm.
However, I wasn't always like the most practicing person. Like I wasn't always consistent with my prayers. You know, I got lazy with my prayers and I wouldn't always hold myself to a certain degree and such. I think my friends were a huge, huge part. I have some of the most like amazing friends because it's like we all keep each other in check. Hey, like it's Zohar time, let's go pray. Or it's um, like we'll always just remind each other and be like, because sometimes you can get caught up into certain things and you'll be like, oh, I'll pray later, I'll pray later. But having that, like, hey, like, let's go pray, let's all go pray right now. And just kind of having that accountability there. And
Yeah.
so when your friends aren't there, you hold yourself accountable. And I honestly think that was a huge, huge thing because my friends are all, amazing people, amazing Muslims, and they just always encourage me all the time. They like encourage me to, read the Quran more. Just always think of doing like treating people kindly and um, just kind of being like an overall good person and being a person that people want to have in their life.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a huge thing. And another thing is I realized like this is a little superficial, I know, but it leads to something better. I was like, okay, how do people perceive me? And I know it's kind of like, oh, like you shouldn't really think like what people think of you and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think that also helped me to kind of lead me to be more practicing in certain ways because I thought, oh, maybe if people see, because what you see in front of you, I think is what like you kind of take in and sometimes put into your own life. So it's just kind of like, oh, if
Yeah.
like I end up doing better and people close to me see that and it's in front of them, it's like it's a win-win because I feel better about myself. A little bit of ego there, I know, but I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, I'm no, no, no. I'm so humble. I'm so
yeah.
humble.
No, that's not that's not
But
unhealthy though. That's a good
yeah, yeah,
way of using your ego.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then after, I'm also helping somebody else, and it just win-win, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. And when you say that, and you want to talk about like, at least for me, when I hear that, I know that like in terms of Islam, that exact thing is kind of what helped me become more for that's how I started praying 5 times a day, is because like my I don't know if my mom or my dad like thought of how people would perceive them, but um because of them praying 5 times, and I would never pray 5 times. I used to see them, and then that influenced me to start praying 5 times, and then they were already doing their own thing. So if that's exactly what you're talking about, like a win-win, and like that
Mhm,
directly ties in
mhm.
with like Islam. That's sick. No, no,
Yeah.
no. And I think you're right, because like you shouldn't you shouldn't care what people think, but I think it's good to see how they perceive you, because like yeah, you want to be a good influence, and
Hmm.
like that's actually so sick how you have a group of friends that are all Muslim, and you guys all pray together, because you get like the a greater benefit when you pray with other people.
Hmm.
That's so good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love that. I'm jealous.
yeah. No nazar.
Yeah.
Say
Oh my
mashallah
God.
right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Freaking
All of
going
a sudden,
against the
all my
religion
friends tell
here.
me, hey, all my friends are like, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I just ruined your
Yeah.
life.
Come on, man. Come on. How's this thing going?
That's
Yeah.
so sick though.
So, yeah, that's kind of, I'm still on my journey. I'm still young and I make mistakes and I'm stupid most of the time, but I
Me
think
too.
that is something that I'm really proud of. So
Hmm.
I'm very happy that I got to talk about that.
Hmm. Yeah, because and it goes back to like, well, no, it doesn't. Sorry, I'm not going to bring that up. Um, but
You can. I don't mind.
oh no, it was just like you and Ilias and what is it? The camp chief Hector, and like
Oh, the halal thing.
yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like in the world we live in, like the West, it's just it's easy to fall in under like not practicing Islam, and like
Hmm.
that happened to me for like until I was 17, and then that's when I started to appreciate my culture, but also my like Islam, because they're two separate things, and like I don't know. It's well, I think this society is way better than our homeland, in my opinion. But one of
Really?
the one of the
I know, I agree.
downside,
I agree.
yeah, we let's talk about that later. But one of the downsides, despite all like the haram things that happen in the world around us, I think that we have a better chance of being more Islamic here.
I agree. 100% agree.
Okay, what? Why?
Yeah. Okay. So here's my thing. I think that um it's religion and culture are very intertwined like back home. They're very like the religion kind of seeps into the culture and so they do it because oh there's a taboo if I don't, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's like it's not for the I'm not trying to say it's not for the right reasons, but there's not like the oh like why am I doing this? Like for my religion and like to please Allah and you know that kind of like back that like that being in the back of your mind it's kind of just like to please the people around you and to kind of be accepted into society whereas here it's actually kind of it's the opposite to like technically be accepted into like today's society and like the college life here and stuff like that um but here it's like when you do it I feel like most people that I know that are really into Islam and really into practicing were never forced into it. It came from themselves and they do things with intention. The intention's really there, which is such a big thing and so emphasized in Islam as well. So I think
Yeah.
that's why I think here, because you're doing it with the mind, like your mind, and you're doing it like you're putting yourself in that situation where you could honestly, like people could perceive you like, oh, like this person's lame and all this kind of stuff. But really, I feel like here you're doing it for the religious reason rather than like the cultural practices.
Yeah. And I completely agree. And I just asked why because I wanted to see if you had the same view as me. But I think the reasoning behind that is because here, because like over in over back home, right?
Mhm.
There's this trend where everyone wants to stick their nose in your business and everyone wants to like a random guy on the street, he's gonna give you love advice and like life advice. Like, bro, and then here you'll never find that. We're all antisocial. Like it's more of an antisocial society. We're less connected. Like we don't know all of our neighbors. Back home, like everyone knows
Yeah,
their neighbors, right? So
all the whole city.
yeah. And it's like it goes back to exactly what you said, that people do it for like the sake of how they're perceived by their neighbor or how they're perceived by someone else rather than the intention and from their heart. And I think that that's just because of like the culture and and the religion intertwining like you said. Um
Mhm.
so that's why I think because over there like okay, hold on. This is my opinion, okay? I think
Yeah.
in Islam, I think religion should be a completely individual thing between you and Allah, except when you go to the mosque. That's the only exception. In my opinion, I think
Oh,
that's
yeah, yeah,
correct
yeah.
because like
Yeah. Mhm.
I just can't stand when someone tries to tell me like obviously someone wants to help me out and they're gonna tell me when I'm doing something wrong, but like come on, like mind your own business, man. You know?
Mhm.
Do you
Really?
agree?
I think to an extent, to an extent. I think
Mm,
if it's people that I'm not close with, then I'm like, hey, let's back off a little bit, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But if it's like my close friends and they're like, bro, like, come on, like, you shouldn't be doing this, then I think it's a different situation because it depends on what, like, I feel like some people don't know you and don't know your heart, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And they don't really, they just want to, they just do it for the sake of judging sometimes, honestly. However, like some of your, like if you have friends who are really close to you and really know you, and they know this is not something that you're going to be proud of, and they kind of like help you step away from that, I think in that case, like I would like you to, you know, tell me like, hey, I would want to like, come on, like this isn't something that you want to be
Yeah.
doing.
Hmm.
So like, yes, I do agree, but to an extent.
Yeah, no, I think that's also right because like
Mm,
for me, I'm gonna ask you about this later about how you're close with like how you're close with your friends. I'm just curious about that. But for
mhm,
me, that's my family because like I'm not really extremely close with my friends because we don't see each other every day. But
mhm.
with my mom and my sister especially, I'm like really close. So then with them, I do exactly that, which is like kind of guiding them and helping them, whatever. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But okay, I'm curious. How's your friend group? How is it structured? Do you guys all go to the same school? Always see each other every
Same
day?
school, each other every single day, every single
That's
day.
that's so
Yeah,
sick.
we're always with each other. People always like know that we're like this is like just it's this group of girls and we're just always with each other. We're always like laughing and stuff like that, and we're very close and we see each other for many hours of the day, which I love. Um, but I think that's why because you know we see each other so much and we know each other and we know like what we would be proud of and what we wouldn't be proud of. And so
Hmm.
by doing that, I think when you spend so much time with a person, like you I feel like you create this bond that's like a little bit different, you know? And so I think in that situation, that's why I'm like, I feel that it's good for my friends to keep me in check.
Yeah. And I think I asked you this last time, but I don't remember. But or do you think you're more um like you can confide in your friends more or your family more? Because you still live at your with your parents, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you see your friends every day. So I'm just wondering how that works. How like who do you who is
Mm,
which side can you tell anything to? Is it both or is it just one?
um, honestly, So honestly, a really tough question. I am super open with my parents. I will come home and be like, "Yeah, guess what happened today? This happened, this happened, this happened." I'm like, "What? No way!" Like sometimes my dad will sit down, he'll like take out his earbuds and be like, "Oh no way."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a really fun relationship with my parents. It's so cool because yes, they are my parents, and they're not just like, "Oh yeah, we're your friend now." Like they will, if I do something wrong, they'll be like, "Are you stupid?" But they have, now that I'm older and now that they know, like, I can do a lot of things on my own, there is more of that like friendship that, comes from their side now,
Yeah.
instead of like parent of obviously it's parenting, but it's more of like they feel as though now, because they don't have to do everything for me, that they're more here to just be there just for me. Just like be there and just for comfort and like all that good stuff. And so
Hmm.
now I think I confide in my mom a lot. I I think now I don't really confide in my friends that much, but at the same time, I don't think I confide in people like that as much anymore either. I don't know why, but like recently it's just been like, I don't know, I just kind of hold things in a little bit more, which isn't good, but I don't know why I do it. And I've talked to my mom about it, but like not to the full extent. And I've talked to one of my friends about it a little bit, but not to the fullest extent. And so honestly, I have no clue how to answer that question, is what I'm
No,
saying.
no, no, no. You gave a no, you gave a good answer. But
Hmm.
that's honestly like what you're saying, like you keep a lot of like stuff in. That has honestly been me so much lately as well. Like
Hmm.
there's just something like you have your life that everyone can see, then you have your life at home, which like your loved ones, your close friends can see. Then you have your private life, or your secret
Hmm.
life that you have it up here. So
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of the stuff just stays there. And it's hard to like
Yeah.
take it out. Like the deep things that you believe in and you tell yourself, they could be negative, positive, they just stay there. I don't know. It's hard to address those with other people.
Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes I can't even like, I'm feeling this way, but like words will not explain. I'm like, I could, like, sometimes my friend was just like, "Hey, you seem kind of down today. Is like, is anything up?" And I was just like, "Yes, but like, that's it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say."
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to like, I was just like, I'm just gonna word vomit and you're not gonna understand a single thing I'm gonna say. So yes, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that's kind of a good thing though,
Hmm.
that it stays in.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't really know how to feel about it. Because
I know it's kind of like weird because you're like, wait, this isn't healthy, but maybe kind of is, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Okay. One other thing I wanted to talk about was
Mm.
when we talked last time, you said you're in a pre-med program. You still are, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How how is what do you think, or like how, because like pre-med, right? That's alluding to the fact that you're going to go into medicine. And that's the same with me. I'm also in a program that is like that. So that's kind of something that we can both relate to. Um what is, how does that like, because like being a doctor is crazy, right? So like how does that affect your like your mental health, I guess? Because I know how to say this, but I'm not sure if I'm really asking it properly. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's the answer. That's the
Hmm.
answer. Um, that has been so tough, bro. Oh my God. You just reminded me. You just reminded
I'm
me of all the
sorry.
stress. Yeah, you should be, honestly. I did not
Hey,
need that right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, it's very stressful, to say the least. I don't know, it's a lot of pressure. Okay, the thing that with all the things that I love about my school, the one One of the mo few things that I really hate is it is so competitive here. It is extremely competitive. Premeds hate each other. It's like, oh, you're premed? Okay, but like, look. Let me one up you right here. Let me tell you about everything that I've done,
Oh
and
my God,
then die.
yeah.
hmm And I'm just like, okay, okay. And so that's been like kind of difficult because I start to compare myself to other people, and then I realize it's not going to do anything for me by comparing myself and feeling like, oh, like everybody else is doing better than me and all this kind of stuff. Honestly, you have your own journey. And I realized I like just sat down with myself and I looked at like everything that I've been doing and stuff like that. And I'm like, there's things that I have to be proud of. Like, uh, honestly, just people talking about everything that they've done. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm literally nothing compared to them. But then I looked and I was just like, you know what? I have my own journey and I'm doing great. And for the most part, I'm doing great. And you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Life goes on. As long as I don't become like them, I'm good. I'm set. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my pre-med spiel. Nothing else. No more
No.
words.
That's literally um because like okay, here's the thing about comparing yourself with other people is that that's something that happens to me as well a lot. But the thing is that there's someone out there who compares themselves to you and they're jealous of you. And then you are jealous of someone else. So it's like a never-ending like cycle of like, like the fish eating the
hmm
smaller fish eating the bigger fish eating the small
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like a shark coming and eating that fish, and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But that's oh my God, you literally pointed out like something that I haven't talked with anyone about, like one-upping someone else. Dude, like just shut up. Like
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, it's so annoying. And like for me, whenever like I hold some things in, some accomplishments that I have, whether that's academic or not, just because I don't want to make someone else anxious. I don't want to hurt someone else like that. Because like they might get
Yeah.
like they might just be like, "Oh, I'm not doing that. Am I doing something wrong?" You know?
hmm
That's so accurate.
Yeah. I don't tell anybody anything. I don't tell anybody anything. I make them think that I just lay and just breathe. That's it. I don't do anything else.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
that type of behavior that we do is like that's negative on us because it actually creates that feeling of everyone else is better than me. Like I was walking through like a crowd of people today at a university and I'm just like, man, they're all probably geniuses and I'm just like, I'm not a genius. Like I'm stupid. That thought, that thought just keeps on coming and it just, and then I disprove it and then I, I prove it again. You know,
Yeah. And
like,
then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, especially in our, pre-med journey.
100%. I think so many people can relate to that.
Mhm.
And don't compare yourself to other people. Everyone's journey is different, and you are going to end up exactly where you should in life, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
That's it.
no,
No comparing,
it's so hard to remind myself about that,
right?
but that's so true.
Right.
It's better hearing it from someone else than me telling it to myself. So
Yeah.
thanks.
I know, like when you tell yourself, you're like, no, that's stupid. And then after when someone else tells you, you're like, wow, such great advice.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay, what are like some things that like it's like we just talked about one, which is like comparing yourself to other people and like anxiety in our program. What are some other things that like negatively affect your mental health, you feel like?
Hmm. Okay. This is something that I'm kind of over now and I'm doing so much better with. However, it's like I feel like a lot of people, so I mean, some people can definitely relate to this. Okay,
Yeah.
I feel like at least at this age, so many people they're in like committed relationships or they're, you know, with somebody where they're like, yeah, I can totally see a future with this person. and they're just like having that sense of security. And then sometimes I'm over here like, I'm gonna end up alone forever. That thought just comes in. I'm like, I'm gonna end up alone. I'm gonna die alone. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a cat lady. Like that is something that I don't know why, but like recently I've just been really thinking about and just been like, oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna end up alone. I don't know why. Like, it's okay, girl. You're young, like relax. But I think that's something that like just like the idea of being alone, like ending up alone. Like I like my alone time, but at the same I'm an extrovert. So I like when I am not feeling well or like I'm just feeling down, people like the energy that people bring is just insane. Like that's what really just helps me out.
Hmm.
Um, and so I don't know why, but like I kept thinking, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna end up alone, and no one loves me, and I don't know, it's stupid, but sometimes that like that thought just kind of comes in. But I realized, you know what, like again, it's meant for me, will come to me.
Yeah.
Such a big thing. And one thing I think that I was like upset about was, oh, like I've met so many great people and so many great guys. Why haven't I clicked with one? Because I see people out there who like they meet somebody and then like they just click well. Like I have like so many people that like, oh, like we get along super well, but I just don't feel it, if that makes sense. And so then I think, is there something wrong with me? Like, oh my gosh, like I hate people. Something's wrong with me. Like, yeah, I don't know why. That's just something that like I think about because there's so many nice and great people out there, but it's like I can never seem to be like, yeah, this is a person that I could see myself, you know, living life with. Instead,
Hmm.
I'm like, this is wrong. I don't like this. They're terrible. No, no, I don't actually do that, but I'll be like, yeah, no, this is not it. This is absolutely not wrong. And so then I'm just, I think with that, I'm like, oh, like something's wrong with me. But now I realize it is a good thing for me to be picky. It's a good thing because I feel like you're gonna grow so much in your 20s and you're gonna meet so many new people. And it is sometimes like just tying yourself down now, you might regret it later, you know?
Hmm.
So I feel like, if you don't like something and if you're not really like obviously everybody has flaws. I'm not saying that like, oh, there's just gonna be somebody out there who doesn't have flaws, but someone's gonna have flaws that don't not bother you, but don't make you doubt things, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, something might be it might not be something that you like, but you don't doubt the relationship and you don't doubt that this could work and stuff like that. Obviously, sometimes in relationships, you're gonna have doubts like, oh, maybe this isn't gonna work. But I feel like in the end, you're gonna be like, I wanna be with this person, point blank, period, and we're gonna make it work. And I think being able to, you know, talk to different guys and just like get to know them and stuff like that made me realize what I do want and what I don't want. Because I thought I had this whole list of everything that I wanted. And almost every single freaking thing on that list has changed. Almost every single
Really?
thing. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh my God, thank God I changed that up. Because what if I was just like, I need this right here? And then I found that and I was just like, oh, never mind, you're not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't say that properly, but I think that's what I mean by like experiences in life really do teach you so much and make you realize that, oh, you're fine. You're literally like you have your own timeline. And again, what's meant for you is gonna come for you. I can't say that anymore.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I need to be done with that, but just kind of kind of with that, yeah. And now I'm like super content and I'm like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna end up alone. And if I do, it's gonna be okay. But I know like for the most part I'm not gonna end up alone. Like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like life's good. I'm fine. It's fine. Yes. What about you?
No, I love to hear that. That was really entertaining.
Mhm.
I think what you said is true. Like you need to actually like talk to people and actually because that's how you figure out what you want in someone is like actually getting to know new people and not just experiencing the same thing.
Mhm.
Um, oh my God, there's so much that like as you were talking, I'm like, okay, I need to reply to that. But then I'm like I'm blanking out right now. But
You're totally fine.
um oh, what you said about being a cat lady is actually hilarious because like I met one of those people and like I was like it was like a volunteer shift and they were like on the shift with me and we were just talking and like bro that is a life that like when I thought about it because like I always used to have this thought before that I wasn't gonna have kids because I didn't want to. I talked about this in my last episode that I didn't want to bring kids into the world and make them go through all the struggle in life. But then I realized that that struggle is actually beautiful, and then I'm like, okay, I actually want to have kids. But if I didn't want to have kids, then eventually there's gonna be a time where it's just or like in the hypothetical situation, if you don't have kids, there's gonna come a day where you're just alone with no you're gonna have like nephews and nieces, but no one of your own like blood, no grandchildren, no children. You're gonna be dying alone. Like, you're gonna be sitting alone in like a house, right? And like that's something that I think you're really right about, which is like the fear of being alone. Because that's something that I don't
Mhm.
think any of us desire. Because um for me and for you, we're people who rely on other people for our emotional health. So having no one is like crap. Like what the hell?
Yeah. Like, what am I gonna do with myself?
Yeah. Um, but a lot of like literally everything you said about like relationships is so true. Um, I think that like what you said about not like vibing with someone, that's like something that it goes back to what you said with like talking to more people. It just comes eventually, and like I feel like at a certain point there comes a point where you might have a lot of differences with someone, but once you get that feeling, then you set everything else aside, like all your other wants aside. That's me. Like if I really
Mhm.
feel like I'm really like enjoying my presence with someone, and I have like a certain thing that I need them to have, like I don't know, be 5'5", and they're 5'3", then boom,
No,
I'll be
no,
with that person,
no.
you know?
No, no, they gotta be 5 foot. They gotta be 5'5". If they're like 5'4", wrong. That's the wrong person for you.
Why?
I'm kidding. Oh my God, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding. Yeah.
I thought you were serious.
No, no, no. I have a
You
very dry sense of humor, so I'm just like, no, that's wrong.
no, no, no. When the joke clicks, it's funny, but I was thinking
You're like,
you're
oh wait,
saying
wait, I
that.
get it.
I thought you were saying like short girls are crazy because like that's a stereotype, but
Oh, it is a stereotype.
yeah,
I've seen quite a few short girls that are
yeah.
very crazy.
No, it is true. It literally
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
Like it's a bad stereotype. Like stereotypes aren't good, but like this one's kind of
Yeah.
true, man. But
I've met a few tall girls that are a little bit crazy too. So,
I guess it's just everyone
I
on the
mean,
polar sides that are crazy,
yeah,
but
yeah. But average is great. Average is where
yeah.
you want to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
what 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 do you think about that? Like, do you agree with that? Like, you match with someone so well that you set everything else aside, or what?
To an extent. There's certain things that I'm like, I will like, even if we like crazy vibe, like if these don't match, it's game over. It's just one thing. It's like they have to be Muslim, they have to be a practicing Muslim. That's it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree. And um, when you say they have to be a practicing Muslim, that comes with so many things. that like create the ideal person, because in Islam, in my opinion, in my opinion, it like it shapes like a really good person. Um, because like obviously Muslims are imperfect, and to me, Islam is like, from what I know, it's like completely flawless. Like there's a solution for everything, and in an ideal society where it's actually like the laws are actually put in place, Islam will be like absolutely amazing. But that's it's just too ideal, and it's not possible in the real world. Um, but yeah, when you say that they have to be a Muslim and they have to like be practicing, yeah, comes with so many things that shape like a person, and when you just have that, it's like that's enough. Like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, his hair is slightly sh an inch shorter. You know what? I'll forgive it. I'll forgive it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um
No, I completely agree.
and like one other thing. Okay, do you think that um just personality matters?
No.
Because everyone seems to say that now. They're like, "Oh, I want like the personality first, and I want that to be like the big thing," which is true, but
Number
like,
one,
yeah, but like you also
I
need
think
like an extent of like physical attraction to someone.
100%. Yeah. I don't think personality is definitely number one because you can have somebody who you're super physically attracted to, but if they're a crappy person, then like it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
But I think there's, I mean, there's so many people who have amazing, amazing personalities and they're great friends, but you're just not like attracted to them, you know what I mean? And I feel
yeah,
like, and that's a difference between a friendship and a relationship, and there's a reason that there's two different things, you know?
yeah,
Obviously, a friendship plays into a relationship, but there has to be something that divides the two, and I think that's it. Like, if you're gonna be with somebody, like you want to be physically attracted to them and you want to be like you don't want to be like, oh yeah, but they're a great person. And yes, obviously, being a great person is like number one, but there's just so many other things that play into a relationship. And if it was just like, oh yeah, personality matters and nothing else does, everybody in the world would be in a relationship, I think. Okay, not actually, but like you know what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I actually never thought about it that way. That um like being attracted to someone is what separates it, which is such a it seems like such a simple idea, but I don't know why I never thought of that. Wow. But for me, that has actually been like a problem that I've had when I've been around certain girls that I can tell like me. There's just some sort of like feeling that I get either from something that their friend tells me, or like something that they say to me, that indicates to me that they're interested in me. But then there's like I want that. I want someone to want me, right? But then there's like a something in my mind that's just like if you're not if you're not attracted to this person, there's no point. like like you need the
I felt that. I 100% felt that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like because that's like the baseline for everything.
Mhm.
But what was your experience?
Um, yeah, I think my experience in life was okay. There was people who were I was like, oh my gosh, like they're really great people. And I could tell they had a like I feel like girls especially are like catch on very quick, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, this guy's into me and whatever. But like I feel like if you're hesitating, you're like, "Mm, but I'm not fully like, I'm not feeling like, yeah, he's cute in his own way. Like, I feel like if you're doing that, no, because it's just gonna create problems for you later, and you're just gonna feel guilt, and you're gonna feel like you're doing somebody an injustice, if that makes sense, because you're gonna be
Yeah.
thinking a certain way, and they don't know that you're thinking in that certain way, and like in the end, like, is it really worth doing that to somebody, you know?
Hmm.
Like that's kind of my train of thought. So yes, personality is number one, but if you aren't physically attracted to that person, you get into a relationship with them. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Keep them
And
as a friend.
yeah. So, yeah, sometimes you have to friend zone people. Um, but yeah, that's like wait, what were you saying? Oh my God, I was gonna respond to what you were saying. I forgot what you said. You said, oh, to not do people an injustice. Yeah, like when you know that you want to be in a relationship with someone, it's gonna be like a known feeling that just does not change that you're attracted to them. But when you have like that the double, like you think in two different ways or whatever, then that's not that's not genuine. Like you just gotta stop and
Hmm.
like just like end
Yeah,
it off because it's not healthy for
yeah,
you or the other person.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This reminds me, have you watched Love is Blind by chance?
No. Is it a show or movie?
It's a show. It's like a reality TV show.
Hmm.
It's on Netflix. Basically what they do is they have a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls, and what they'll
Hmm.
do is they'll have two separate pods, and there's like a wall between the pods. So a girl goes in one and the guy goes in another, and they just talk and they see if they can fall in love without seeing each other and just getting to know each other.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this is so relevant to this conversation because they'll be like, oh my gosh, like this is the person for me. Like they're perfect, they're perfect. And then after you have the option of if you really like think you love this person, you get to propose to them. And if they accept, then you can
What?
see them. Yeah. It's a little bit
What?
of a crazy show.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid, but it's very entertaining. So if you have the time, I would say watch it. But um you see later on that people kind of have this expectation of like, oh, like she's so amazing, she's gonna look like this, or he's probably gonna look like this is my dream man and stuff like that. And then you see them, and then you see like some of the reactions you see, and you're like, hey, you know what I mean? Like you can tell that they're not physically attracted to that person.
Hmm.
And on it, like the last season, I think it was the third season, that was like such a huge issue for like two of the couples. And for one of them, he was like, the guy's name was Cole and the girl's name was Zanab. And he was like, I usually go for lilies, like implying that he usually goes for like white girls and stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
that's usually my type. That's what like I think is attractive. But like, you're pretty in your own right. And they're like engaged at this point. Do
What
you,
the hell?
yeah, yeah, because he like loved her personality and like the little pod things where they couldn't see each other. But like
Yeah.
when he got to see her after he proposed, he was like, you're pretty in your own way. And he wasn't physically attracted to her. And it just caused so many like issues between them and so many issues for her separately. It caused insecurities. She was so insecure about herself after. And I feel like that's where I'm like talking about like that injustice thing. And so I'm like, just yeah. I feel like Love is Blind is exactly what we're talking about right here.
Yeah, no, after you explained it, yeah. Oh my God. I feel bad for that girl.
Oh my gosh, yeah. To be
Because
fair,
like,
like
no,
she
no,
was a little bit
go ahead.
she was a
Okay.
little bit crazy, but yeah, she was a little bit crazy, but she didn't deserve it.
Hmm.
But continue, sorry.
I was just saying, like in that scenario, if let's say that the girl really liked the guy, but obviously the guy didn't like her back, that being in that position of the girl, in if it was like that, sucks. Like it sucks because I've also been in that situation where I really felt like I liked someone and I got like a vibe from them, and then I told them, I'm like, hey, maybe we should like talk more, get in and whatever. And then I was rejected, and that sucks so bad. But then it's like it goes back to what you said, and you've said this a lot today, and you've said it in the last episode a lot, was that what's meant for you is meant for you. Like eventually it's gonna come. You just gotta be patient. Um,
Hmm.
so
Sabr.
yeah. Yeah. And I don't even speak Urdu. I know what that means. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even speak Urdu either. I'm pretty sure it's Arabic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay. Yeah, probably is. I don't know. There's some words that just go between all all languages of brown
Yeah,
people, but
yeah. Okay, so basically my friend and I were talking about this the other day, and I feel like this is kind of something that nobody really talks about. Okay, this is kind of like hopping on a relationship thing. Do you think people of two different cultures can work out? Like, obviously, yes, they can. We've seen it before and all that kind of stuff, but like, what do you think are like the downsides to it? And like, is it better to just be with somebody who you come from, well, who comes from the same culture as you, and like why, and the whole idea of
okay.
that?
Yeah, no. Um that's a good thing to talk about. For me, I think like I've thought about that, right? Because obviously living in the West, you have a bigger there's a bigger pool of people to choose from. Um and being being Muslim and being, from I guess we're from a foreign land. We're not always gonna have the same our same people to, be in a romantic relationship with, but I think it can work out. And for me, the ideal scenario would be like if I ever found someone who was in a different culture than me, and we really liked each other and wanted to marry each other, it would be like, okay, you're gonna learn my culture and I'm gonna learn yours, and we're both gonna embrace it, and we're both gonna learn each other's like like what do you call it? Native language. I think
Hmm.
that's because like if only one person does it, that's so wrong. That just not does not feel right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's like necessary for both people in the relationship to both do that for each other. And I think
Hmm.
that's like the first big step. And then just making sure that you have like the same general like beliefs about like life and people and like family. Because like in different cultures, those things vary. And I literally don't know much about culture. Like I don't even know much about my own culture because I'm really against my own culture. Like my um yeah, my Pashtun culture. But I know,
Really? All
yeah,
all my Pashtun friends are so adamant on being, you know, I'm Pashtun, right? Oh, did I tell you I'm Pashtun? Oh, by the way, I'm
yeah.
Pashtun. And I'm like, okay, girl, get into
Okay,
it. Absolutely.
the thing is like there's a sense of pride because we speak something that's not the basic language of Urdu. I was stuttering. Um, that's the only thing that I see as like a flex is the fact that I speak like a
Pashto.
cool language. Yeah, but like 99%, not 99, 95% of the things that happens in my culture, I disagree with. There's a very
Interesting.
low amount of things that I agree with, and that's based on my experience physically being in Pakistan and like
Mhm.
especially I went in May, like this is not that long ago, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm
insane, yeah.
a mature self. So, but back to the question you asked. What do you think? I think it can work with the language and getting to understand the other person's
Mhm.
culture, but you?
I always thought, yeah, I was like, for sure, like if you guys put in the effort, why can't it work? And then we got like more people hopped in on the conversation. And I was just like, wait. I was like, yes, but also wait. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I don't agree with it, but I think people are pointing out the things that work in our society, unfortunately. Um, like I think, okay, something that I have experienced, which is so unfortunate, but because I'm Bengali, I've experienced a lot of like
Wait, I'm sorry.
criticism.
I thought you were
Oh,
Pakistani this entire time. My entire life, I thought you were Pakistani. Wait, there's no way.
I'm ending this call right now. We've known each other since sixth
Okay,
grade.
yo, every single Bengali person I know, I always, when I first met them, I thought they were Pakistani. I'm sorry. I literally, bro, cause I thought you spoke
I'm
like,
about to start crying. I'm about to start
you said you didn't
crying.
speak Urdu. I'm like, okay, you probably speak like Punjabi or something, some other like brown language. Damn, that's crazy. I did not know that. That's insane. Okay.
Embarrassing for you. Embarrassing for you.
It is. I'm sorry. I actually feel ashamed because I should have known that. Crap.
Yeah.
How did I not know
And
that?
I knew you were Pakistani and Pashtun. Do you
Yeah,
see this?
I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Honestly, that was an abomination. It really was.
Is it bad to be my people? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or
no,
no?
no, no, no. The
I'm
fact that
kidding.
you didn't know that I was Bengali. Okay, that was really hostile, and I did not appreciate that. That was just,
I'm
yeah, that wasn't it.
seriously. I'm sorry. I did not even know. Like that's
You're
crazy,
totally
man.
fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody has ever been like, oh, like, are you Bengali? Never in my life. I've gotten
Really.
Pakistani like 99% of my life.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm part of the like most people,
No, you
but
should be the 1% that wasn't.
yeah, because I've known you for 8 years. Maybe I should have.
8 years, yeah. Some of these people only know me for like 6 months.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Um,
But as you were saying, sorry, I
yeah,
interrupted you on
yeah.
that.
As I am Bengali, I have actually experienced like so much like criticism, not criticism, but like discrimination from the Desi community. It's so it's so sad to see, but like initially people will think I'm Pakistani and majority of my friends are Pakistani. And so people just assume. But I'm proud of my culture for the most part. I'm proud of who I am and I'm proud of my country. And so I've never just like gone with the flow and never corrected people. I'd be like, oh no, 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 like I'm Bengali. And like some of the reactions that I've gotten sometimes I'm like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's where I'm kind of like, I feel like that would be kind of difficult because sometimes, I feel like some people kind like some basic people have like more of an ego about their like ethnicity or culture, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm better than the other ones," or like we're better than the other ones and stuff like that.
My
And
God.
I don't know, yeah, I've seen so much discrimination against Bengalis, and it's so sad. And that's where I'm kind of like, I kind of see like where that could really be tough because I feel like when you end up marrying somebody, you also low-key marry until you marry the family.
Yeah.
And if the family isn't super accepting, it's gonna make your life miserable. So we were talking about that, and I was just like, oh, I totally get that. I totally get that. And this instance actually happened to me where um I went to this event at school and it was like a Desi hosted event and it was really fun and I had a great time
Hmm.
and um this one guy he was currently like talking with one of my friends and his friend noticed me but he thought that I was Pakistani and so he told his friend like hey who is that and um like kind of just like asking about me. And then the moment he was just like, oh, she seems really cool and stuff like that. But the moment he found out I was Bengali, he was like, oh, she's Bengali. And I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, I was just like, what the hell? Like, yeah. It was just like interesting to see the switch he made right in front of me. Like just to see him being like, yeah, yeah, like tell me more about you. To oh, you're Bengali. I gotta go over there actually.
What the
Oh, my
hell,
mom's
man?
calling me. Yeah, and I was just like, what the hell? I was just like, okay, all right, yeah. And so like seeing that, I was like, I was just so disappointed because I was just like, the fact that like people in your own community do that to you is it's just so heartbreaking, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm sorry that happened to you, and actually faced it, because like the majority of people should not be like that. I don't know if they are like that, because I know how bad like we can be. Like, I don't know, because I know like I know really a lot of good people from South Asia, and I know a lot of bad people too. Um,
Hmm.
but like, dude, what? Why is that even a thing? Like, we're literally like the exact same people. And just freaking the UK decided to draw some imaginary lines, and then we're separated. Like, come on. Um, that's so stupid, man.
Like, I was just like, okay, like, just, I like, I didn't do anything, and I wasn't like mad about it or anything like that. I was just like, I mean, okay, you can choose to be a piece of crap. Like, I don't care. That's not
Yeah.
affecting me. I'm living my best life. I'm doing great. Thank you.
No,
Yeah, but
those
just seeing that happen in front of you is like, it's kind of funny.
it's because in like a lot of brown people are just internally racist, and it's like you said, they have like some sort of like pride about their own people and their culture, and that's why I absolutely hate like being or like having like pride in your like country. I wouldn't say I actually like I hate it a lot, because it's
Mhm.
fun to watch Pakistan in the T20 World Cup for freaking
Cricket.
cricket. Yeah, like it's fun to see that and like to be with your people. But like you shouldn't base like your social interaction on that. Like just because I'm friends with
Right.
someone who's Indian, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, I hate you," even though our countries have been at war before. You know? Like
Yeah.
you need to set that pride aside and that like ego of your national identity, which for me, bro, like I all I care about is like I just want you to see me as human, and then that's it. Like that's all you need to do. Like screw everything else that divides us and makes us different. Screw that. Just like treat me like a
Yeah.
human, and then just show me respect, and like let's be nice to each other. That's so
Let's not
annoying.
be literally the fact that people my age who grew up in this country
Yeah, that
and
too.
like the fact that you're still carrying these things, I'm like, wow, wow, like it's insane to me.
Yeah. Like
Oh my God. You know another comment I got? Oh, sorry.
what?
Continue, continue,
No.
continue.
I was it was stupid. You were talking first. Say it.
Okay. Someone said to me when they found out I was Bengali, they were like, "Are you sure you're Bengali?" And I was like, um, no, actually, let me just go do a DNA test. Like, and I was like, yeah, why? And they're like, full? And I was like, yup. They're like, huh, you're too light to be Bengali. And I was like, what? I was like, j just to see that. And this person, I remember like this person was pre-med too, and I was like, the fact that you are gonna be somebody's doctor. Oh my
Oh my
God.
God. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember like thinking, do I really have to explain this? And I was just like, yeah, there's like an array of skin tones in the country. Like it's not just one. Like they're very pale people and they're very tan people, like just like any other place. They were
Yeah.
like, no, but like every other Bengali I've seen is on the tanner side. And I was just like, I'm I still have melanin, like I'm still brown, like hello. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know. Just facing now, the fact that I face it now, like I didn't face it in like high school or anything like that. Like the fact that
Hmm.
I face it now with people who are like grown adults, it's it's so not even disappointing. Like I don't even know what the word would be. It's just like stupid.
Yeah. Like you feel like you're like losing faith in like society.
I literally am. I literally am. I'm never gonna go to the doctor again. I'm never gonna hire a lawyer, none of that, because the fact that these are the people, I'm so sorry, but I cannot. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. And you'd expect that like with our generation, that that type of stuff would end because like what is
Yeah.
it like Gen Z they call it like we're especially because like all of us are like I don't know a single person who doesn't support like Black Lives Matter like who's like our
Hmm.
age. Like I know very few people, probably like a handful of people, because like that's just because
Hmm.
we're like progressive thinkers and like we try to because like I don't know in yeah in my culture some parts there's like actually not some parts there's definitely a thing that's like oh fairer skin tone and lighter skin tone is more attractive than darker and
Yep.
that is something that like when I go back home I can experience but it's like when I come back I'm like okay I have to take that out of my mind now and it's just like get that out of here because like it's just
Hmm.
you don't genuinely believe it but it's just subconsciously there and that's like a subconscious racism that exists
Yeah.
and I hate that and it's so bad how like someone said that to you bro like what are you thinking oh my
No, the
god
fact that if you say it in your head, that's one thing, but to say it to my face and right there, I was like,
yeah
wow, wow.
wait
Yeah.
was that person brown as well
Hmm.
okay that makes it even worse then because we are the ones that should know that like we have that scale of skin tone and like whatever who cares what side you're
Hmm.
from my god
Yeah, exactly. Like that was the part I was just like, w- I was about to pull up a map. I was about to pull up a presentation being like, let me explain everything to you right now because this is not okay at all.
yeah my
Yeah.
god okay well we're around like the 1 hour 10 mark let's not end off on this terribly dark note
Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah. Let's make it happy. Let's make it a great, positive
yeah
last hurrah.
okay so yeah last thoughts how was your experience here what are your final thoughts
Um, okay. It is so crazy to see, like, I was on here over a year ago.
yeah
What? Yeah, just to think that your podcast has been the bloomers have been alive since what, over a year now?
yeah
So crazy. I think last time I made a comment about like can't wait to like be listening 10 years from now. We got 1 year down, so we got can't wait to be listening
yeah
9 years from
9
now.
years to go
9 years to go. And then I'll
yeah
stop completely and then I'm never gonna listen ever again. But
oh my god
um but it's just so crazy to see and it's so amazing that you kept up with this. Because I feel like
thank you
sometimes, you not you specifically. I feel like sometimes people I know like they'll have really great passion projects and they'll love doing something, but they just won't have enough time and they won't like be able to keep up with it.
yeah
So like props to you. So crazy. Love this. So amazing. Forever a bloomer.
thank you
Number one bloomer. If you make stickers, I'll buy them. If you make merchandise,
I've thought
all of a
about both
sudden do
they're
it.
probably gonna come but yeah
Do it.
no but I'm gonna interrupt your speech here okay you deserve a lot of credit for what my channel is now because um you first of all your video is like one of my like top like I think 7 6 top videos and then like
Me?
yeah
Stop.
um and then like the attention that that episode brought has contributed to my current um subscribers and views and all that stuff
No way.
yeah it does that's because you've brought in certain people who become my audience and then like some people who like connect with it so thank you for that and like I forgot to say it at the start which like I always should say but thanks for coming on because I don't
Of
know it
course.
like because you had such a big interest for it and then that's what really made me want to like actually do this again was because you actually
Hmm.
asked and like to actually ask
Hmm.
is like it requires courage and I appreciate that
Thank you.
yeah
Yeah.
and it's been very fun but continue your speech
I don't even know where I was going with that. Sometimes there's the thoughts and they just they just come out and they make
Yeah,
absolutely no sense whatsoever.
that is the
But
theme of this
yeah, I'm just
podcast.
it very much is. I love it. But thank you so much for having me on, and thank you so much for allowing me to talk about so many different things and just ramble because I feel like sometimes I don't get an outlet for that. So this was really
Hmm.
fun and really fantastic. And it's so crazy to see like I knew you since sixth grade. Wow.
Yeah.
Like how crazy and like you look so different. I feel like I look so different now and just to see like because I don't have many childhood friends because I like moved around, but like it's so fun and it's so fresh, you know?
Yeah. No, it's really good
Yeah.
that we kept in touch and like we talk like occasionally, like in between
Mhm.
October last year and now we talk like multiple times in DMs and it's always been like fun. And yeah, you're right. Like I didn't really have like besides my core friend group, I don't really talk to many people from junior high. So yeah, it's always good to have that connection and to like see to look back and be
Mhm.
like, damn, we used to be like 8 years ago today, we were in that classroom together. Just like and we had no
Yeah.
idea that this was gonna happen today, which is crazy. But
Yeah. Like I think one of the really like coolest things about this podcast was I got to reconnect with people from junior high that I haven't talked with in so long,
hmm.
and they just like hit me up, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And it's so fun to see. Like I got to reconnect with you. I got to reconnect with Ilyas. Someone else DM'd me, but I don't remember who. But someone DM'd me. And I was just like,
Hmm.
"Oh my gosh!" Like it's been so long, and it just felt so nice because most of the people I know here have been here since like they've been like they were born in the hospital that's like across the street, you know? And so
Yeah.
that felt so nice and so like just it warmed my heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, me too. But I'm glad you've enjoyed this and I'm glad you've come on again. And it's always fun to do these and especially with you because last time was very really fun as well. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, we will end it off there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys got to learn stuff about us and enjoyed our discussion. But yeah, uh, see you guys in the next episode.